Hi, everybody. Long time no see. Uh, my son took off to the grocery store, so I thought, what better time to pop on here and show y'all I'm still alive. My hair's growing out. So I just thought I would come on here and share a few things that have been going on, because all I've been putting out lately is just a couple of really quick shorts. So I thought that I would maybe elaborate on those shorts and pop in and have some conversations with you guys. So if you're joining me on the live, welcome. And feel free to say hi and tell me what you're working on and all the good stuff. So, where should I even start? I don't even know where to start. It's been a long time. For those of you who are watching for the first time, my name's Donna, and I've recently changed my channel name. And I had a kind of, I don't know, I was laying in bed and I couldn't sleep, and I had kind of a revelation or epiphany moment. I don't know what you want to call it. But I thought, I need to change my channel name. And I started thinking, to more reflect. Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. I was just kind of catching people up on what's going on. Hi, Samantha. So I don't know if either of you realize I changed my channel name. And now it's called Fancy Fiber Forum. First of all, I need something for, say, if I do markets. That was basically the impetus for it. For if I go and do craft fairs or something like that. Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate that. I don't really have any kind of quote unquote business name because I've not done markets since I was selling sourdough. And my sourdough business was called the Bread Bar. So I changed my business cards and I changed it to, I think, Breads and Threads, which at that time was fitting because I was doing both sourdough and crocheting. And the last time I did market, I was taking some of my crochet stuff. So now I'm not doing farmers markets. And I'm basically living in a bubble of crochet and yarn and stuff like that. So I thought I need to come up with something that reflects that. And, if you go to craft fairs and you see that people are selling crochet stuff, they're advertising their business is selling crochet stuff. I don't know about you, and this is nothing against people that sell these kinds of crochet things, but when I think of that, hi, Sammy Jazz. Thanks for joining me. When I think of that, I think, okay, they're probably going to be selling either amigurumi or kitchen stuff or blankets or, stuff like that. And with that idea, you're kind of thinking, other than amigurumi, you're kind of thinking of synthetic fibers. I don't work with synthetic fibers. And I wanted my new business name and channel name to reflect that. So I thought, fancy fibers. First I thought bougie, but I thought that's such a, I don't know. Will they be using that term? Did they use that term 10 years ago, 20 years ago? No. I don't even know how I spell bougie. I've seen it spelled many different ways. So bougie would have been nice, but I thought Fancy Fiber Forum. That will, I thought about Fancy Fiber Creations or Makes, but then I thought of this channel and, what I want to reflect on my channel. So I thought Fancy Fiber Forum. I got the 3 F's. Sit. I got dogs down here because it's muddy outside. It's been raining since last night, and I don't want them upstairs wrestling, climbing on the furniture. So they're down here in the basement where they can do minimal damage if they're dirty. So anyway, so channel name is now Fancy Fiber Forum, but my name still says Donna Loves Yarn. So when I'm commenting on a video or chatting in a live, it still comes up, I believe, as Donna Loves Yarn. Samantha, you don't have to change your channel name, but if you do, just make sure that it reflects what your channel is all about. And for me, my channel is all about, for now, crochet and fancy yarn. So, I want people to know that I love fancy yarn. Nothing against those that don't, but I like fancy yarn. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about, was the change of my channel name. I think it's cute. So I hope you guys like it. We'll see how it goes. I don't think it makes that much difference. So the other thing I want to talk about is what I discussed in one of my shorts, speaking of yarn, is I am going on an indefinite yarn ban. No more. I have way more than I could ever use. There's nothing I could buy that I don't already have fiber-wise. Really. I mean, I don't care about buying yarn with dog hair in it or squirrel or possum. I don't care about that. Hi, Ellen. I watched your video. Oh, I watched your video. I love that hat. That hat was so cute. First time I turned it on, I chuckled out loud when I saw that hat. How cute is that? That's adorable. I'm wondering if I have my thingy running because I'm glitchy. I don't remember what it's called. Let me see. It's not down here in my tray. It's glitchy, and I don't know why. The last time it was because I was using that. Oh, thank you, Ellen. I like it too. I like it. I was just explaining why I changed it. So the yarn ban, indefinite yarn ban. And the idea, most of my ideas come late at night when I'm laying in bed trying to sleep. And these ideas usually keep me from falling asleep. But a new name for you. Well, like I was just telling Samantha, if you do whatever reflects the values or goals of your channel. And that's basically why I changed mine. Yeah, so people would know. Let's see. Do I have that running? Let me see. Yeah, Proton VPN. No, it's not running. You are not protected. So I don't know why it's glitching like it is. Um, anyway, what brought me to the realization is, and I touched on it in my short. Um, I don't even know how I found it. I'm subscribed to this page that notifies me of auctions nearby, specifically auctions that have yarn or crochet related items. So I think that must be how I found this auction. And oh my gosh, this I probably won't need, well, of course, I won't need another auction probably in my life. So this auction was specifically a local yarn store about an hour and a half east of me that's going out of business. Well, they've gone out of business now. I know it's hard not to keep purchasing because they are all so beautiful. Yeah, I am trying to use Stash to make space. It's good to take a break from buying and keep an eye on what we own. Like I said, Ellen, there's nothing I can buy that I don't already have. I mean, if I want a specific color, I still have undyed yarn, and it'd be cheaper for me just to buy dye and dye my own, right? If I needed a specific color. Oh, I can't wait, Ellen. I absolutely can't wait. There you go. I brought treats down for Bean so that he'd have incentive to stay down here, even though I have the door shut. So anyway, this business east of me has gone out of business. So I'm going through, all the stuff they have, and some of these lots contained a whole lot. Whoever got those bigger lots got a good deal because there were lots of like 100 hanks of yarn. And I was hoping that not all of it was like that. Although I might have, if that's what the case was, I probably would have bid on one. So I didn't know how this auction was going to go. So I'm scrolling through, and I'm seeing brands I've never heard of before. And I'm getting to the Hanks, and I see Madeline Tosh. I have a new love for Madeline Tosh. So Madeline Tosh and Malabrigo are now my two favorites. My two very, very favorites. So I see the Madeline Tosh, and they're selling most of it in smaller lots, being like 4 hanks per bag. So in my head, I'm saying, I know how much those are per hank. So I picked a maximum amount that I would be willing to pay per hank, and then it multiplies it for you. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. You don't even chew it. You just swallow it. You want a bigger one? Chew it. Like 5 chews, and then he swallows it. So these were lots of 4 hanks a piece, and I'm going through them, and I decided on the first 2 that I saw, I decided a max of $10 a hank. So I think at that time I just bid on 2 lots. So I'm thinking, okay, $40, that's $80 for 8 hanks of Madeline Tosh. Granted, it was DK, but their DK is so light. Their DK is almost a 2 weight. So, and it's plied. It's not single ply that I prefer, but it's fine. Their DK is quite a bit lighter than the Malabrigo worsted. And to me, what Malabrigo worsted is more of a 3 weight to me. So I think my son might be back from the store. So anyway, yeah, so I had that idea in my head, $10 max per hank. So I bid on those 2. Is that printing that pattern again? I think it is. My printer had a bit of a delay. So I'm looking through and I'm seeing more Madeline Tosh. And very few of them were solids. And the solids were generally mixed in with the variegated. So I bid on, well, I don't know how many I bid on total. I don't think I lost on a single one. I bid on 11 auctions. Now, not all 11 I maxed out at $10 a hank. Some of them I bid 5 or 6. I think the highest I went might have been 7 on some of them, I think. And then there was this other brand called Anzula, Anzula, Anzula. And those were merino nylon blend, I believe. So I bid on 3 lots of the Anzula and then 8 lots of the Madeline Tosh. And I won all 11 lots. So I counted up all the hanks and the cost for everything. And the average cost per hank before shipping was $6 and change. Oh my gosh. That was a steal. And if it was a little closer than an hour and a half away, I might actually drive and save the shipping, but it'll probably cost me in gas what it's going to cost me for them to ship it. How many hanks? You really want to know? Well, each lot was 4 hanks. So 44 hanks, averaging $6 and change per hank. And it was all DK. It's gorgeous. My only disappointment is they had several lots containing what looked to be the same color of variegated. It's called, what's it called? Goosebumps Gradient, Goosebumps something, but it's purple. It's a purple gradient, or not gradient, variegated. It's a purple variegated. So I bid on several, I think 5 total lots that had this purple variegated yarn, not knowing if they were all the same or just similar. So I bid on, just in case, because I wanted to make sure I got at least one. So I'm going to have, was it 4 or 5? It was either 4 or 5. So I'm going to have at least, unless there was surprise colors underneath, because it only showed like the 2 on top. And then you can kind of get a glimpse of what was behind. So I should have at least 16 hanks of the same color. So I could make a top. I could maybe make a top. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But the Anzula colorways were all the same. One was like a sagey green, and these were like not tonal, not really variegated. Maybe call them tonal. You want another treat? But it was like a sagey green, and then another was like a raspberry, not raspberry. Kind of a not maroon, kind of a wine burgundy color. Same kind of tonal, not variegated. Yeah, maybe. Hi, Tracy. So I got the sagey green, I got the burgundy, and then I got a more neutral color. All of them were kind of tonal. And then as for the Madeline Tosh, most of it is that purple variegated. And then I got some yellow and some pink. I don't think there was any blue at all. So it was mostly purple, pink, yellow. I think there's 1 or 2 hanks of red. At least it looked red in the picture. So I'm supposed to get an invoice including shipping cost tomorrow. And then I'll get it paid for. And then I'm assuming they'll ship it tomorrow or Tuesday. And they're just an hour and a half away. So I should have it by the end of the week. So all that long story to explain why I am now on an indefinite yarn ban with 44 hanks of hand-dyed yarn coming. I don't need any more. I honestly don't. And then I've got the Aberdeen's wool Advent coming in the next few weeks. I think they're supposed to be shipping in the first 2 weeks of November. So I should have those in about, 3.5 weeks. So I've got that coming. And Bernadine, oh my gosh, I haven't even shared this. I should have brought it down. Bernadine at How the Hook Turns, she's such a sweetheart. Oh my God. I wish I told her I'm moving to Texas because I want to live by her. She is such a sweetheart. She sent me 6 hanks of Zen Yarn Garden sparkle yarn that I encouraged her to buy. Yeah, I bet you did, Ellen. I bet you did. But I'm sticking to it. I have a freaking store that takes up a whole bedroom. I have no business whatsoever buying any more at all. Can we be friends? She's such a sweetheart. So yeah, she sent me, I remember when she bought it, I encouraged her to buy it. And that was back when I was talking about the escape shawl. And she bought that yarn with the intention of using it maybe in an escape shawl. She has since made an escape shawl, but she didn't use that. So my partner asked me this morning, do we need to make you a yarn wall? I looked up at him and was surprised and said, huh? So he asked, do you want a yarn wall? I said, yes, please. That's cool. So are you going to do it with like the pegs, or are you going to do it with like how Ginger does it with boxes? I love Ginger's at Yarn Geek. She's got all those wooden crates and her husband nailed them to the wall. That would be my ideal. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. But I don't like driving screws into a wall. Oh, you're looking at the TOY, I think. Or are you looking at my mannequin? I can't tell what you're looking at. You can't have my little sheep. You want another treat? Sit. Good boy. So, yeah, I've got a whole room full of yarn and project bags all over the floor still. I went in there last night, I believe. Yeah, last night to, I'm not sure who's calling me. Oh, I bet you that's Susan. Anyway, yeah, I went through my yarn with the intention of first of all, finding out what I had. Second of all, because my fingering weight yarn collection is growing, I wanted to use more of my little cube storage for that so that it wasn't all crammed in. I couldn't see what I had. I also knew I had this decay weight coming, so I needed to reconfigure, um, where to put all that. So, Sam,
Yes.
I forgot to tell you, but we need cabbage.
Oh.
I was going to text you, and I forgot. I still have some, but the last one I bought was about the size of a head of lettuce. It was little. Yeah. Sturdy shelves and getting the slide-in fabric boxes and use those for my yarn. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I only have 12 side-by-side cubes, which isn't much at all, but I've had people tell me I have too much yarn. Well, that's how I started. That's how I started. So anyway, I went in there and started pulling yarn and moving yarns around, and bagged up quite a bit with yarn that I didn't think I would ever get rid of. Some Hobby Lobby yarn, some wool of the Andes. It's too scratchy. I don't know what I would make with it. It's too scratchy. Nobody has committed to buying that yet, but my friend Linda came and got the 44th Street yarn that I got from Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. So that's gone. And she gave me $5 too much, so I ran in the house to try to find something to give her that was worth $5. So I gave her a skein of Impeccable and a cake of Red Heart Roll With It melange that together I was creating a project that I'll never finish. I mean, it was a granny square and it had grown about this big. So I just gave it all to her and said, you can either keep going or you can rip it and start over and do something else with it. So I gave her that for the extra that she gave me. So that's gone. The rest of what I have is bagged up, and I probably have more that I can bag up, but just from looking at the front of all of my storage stuff, I think I've got enough pulled out for now. So I addressed my tower cubes, and I had them, I think, 6 or 7 high. Might have been 6 high. Yeah, it wouldn't have been 7. I think I had them 6 high. So I brought them down to 4 high so that I can actually see what's in there. Because the top one, I don't know what's in there. Granted, it was all the same type of yarn, but I'd rather be able to see it. So I did that. I shortened them to 4. And then just juggled things around so it looks a little better on that one wall. Now I got to figure out what to do with all my project bags. Some of it I have to frog. I have a bag specifically for frogging. I have a bag specifically for trying to finish. And then there's others that I have to go through. I've been talking about my project bags now for at least a year, and it's just out of control. So, yeah, then I have to tackle the other side of the room, which has bins, stacking bins, and those are for skeins and donuts. The cubes are for Hanks only. So I have to tackle the bins, go through those, get them better organized, and pull out what I want to try to sell. And then we'll go from there. Will you show us your yarn haul? And well, yeah. And what I do with it, I'm going to show it. You can be sure of that. I will definitely show it. I can't wait. I can hardly wait to get it. I considered driving the 3 hours round trip to go get it. That's how anxious I am to get it. So hopefully they can get it all in a large flat rate. They told me in the email that it should all fit. If it doesn't, that would be the excuse I have to drive an hour and a half there, hour and a half back to get it, because it'll cost $40 to ship it if they can't use flat rate, large flat rate. So hopefully they can get it all in there. Yarn, luckily yarn is squishy and you can just jam it all in there. Yeah, 44 hanks of yarn. I'm so excited. Okay, so that is my explanation for the indefinite yarn ban. Vacuum seal the yarn and that would be for them to do. I doubt they're going to do that. But they're all in Ziploc bags anyway. My thought was they should just take everything out of the Ziploc bags and just stick them in there and, compress them and then shut the box. That should work. That's how I would do it. That, or open the zippers to everything and then put them in there and compress it and shut the box. Either way. So that's that. Now, on to the next subject. Ellen, I don't know if you're still here, but I have picked up knitting again. I tried it probably less than a year ago. Oh, good. I tried it less than a year ago because I know I tried it since I've been here. I tried it less than a year ago. And I wasn't really having a lot of luck. I was holding the needles with a death grip, so much so that I got tendonitis in my right hand. So I put it down and I said, this is not worth the pain. I'm not going to do it. And I don't want to risk that pain again. So I don't know what drove me to watch tutorials again, but I happened to look up and watch a beginner tutorial from Shandy at Expression Fiber Arts. I have tried it several times and trying again with the Prim. I got a set of Prim needles. Mine aren't circulars. Mine are really too long. They're 14 inches long. I don't know why they make them that long. So it's kind of clumsy working with them, but I like them. So far, I like them. I got the 6, did I get the 6 millimeter? Yeah, I got the 6 millimeter straight needles, and I like them. I'll show you a project that I started here yesterday. These are small. I know. I saw that you had the circulars. Mine have the bulbs on the end too. Anyway, I was watching Shandy's tutorial from like 10 years ago, and suddenly it dawned on me. I don't know what she did differently than anybody else I'd watched, but it finally clicked. I don't know why. So I picked up the needles. I no longer was holding them really tight, so I had no pain. And it was just easy. She made it so simple. And I think it was the combination of the very slow, intentional movement and the close-up shot that must have been it for me. I don't know. But I was explaining to my friend Kelly that I realized it wasn't enough for me to know what to do with the yarn. I hope I can explain this right. It wasn't enough for me to know what to do. I think it was more the why. So I told her I needed to know the anatomy of a stitch. And I actually heard that term watching a video today. The anatomy of the stitch. I need to know why. Why am I putting the yarn over this way and doing this with it? Why am I doing that? So yeah, you need to watch. It was a light bulb moment for me. So the first project I started, and I brought the wrong, why did I bring this yarn down here? I bought these needles from a local yarn store. I don't know, probably 6 months ago, last summer maybe. I don't remember when it was. What sounds like a great idea, Melissa? So these are the Knitter's Pride Dreams. They are laminated birch. And she suggested these needles to me, the tutorials. Well, yeah, that's how I've learned to crochet. So I figured that's how I'm going to learn to knit. So I broke out these needles and I thought, I'm going to try it. I'm just going to try it because I've tried with the aluminum. I've tried with bamboo. And I've tried... Bean?
What?
What's he chewing on?
Some chips.
Okay. I didn't know you were in there. So I've tried the bamboo. I've tried the aluminum. Did I try plastic? I don't think I have plastic. I've tried those too. And I've tried different yarns. And so I broke out the Knitter's Pride laminated birch. This is a size 7, so it's 4.5 millimeter. And I just happen to have this single ply wool. Thought, why not? I'll just try it. So I started doing the knit stitch, not knowing. I know it's kind of hard to, I don't want to turn that light on. Not knowing if you do knit on both sides, it's called the garter stitch. And it kind of looks like pearls on both sides, pearl stitch on both sides. I know the lighting is not that great. So that's pretty darn even for a first timer. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to try. Once I realized what that was, I thought, I want the little V's that you see with knit stuff. I want the little V's. So finally, I don't know if someone explained it to me or I saw it in a video that to get the V's, you have to do knit on one side and purl on the other. Well, I was petrified of purl because I've watched tutorials on the purl stitch and it looked too hard. But I practiced and I figured it out, and it's just a matter of what you feel comfortable doing with your hands. Because what you see other people do may not be comfortable for you, and I know that was true for me. So here's the, you can't really see it. Here's the knit side. Here's the purl side. So I did that, not realizing that now this is curling, so it looks narrower. And then I decided to try, what else did I try to do? Oh, I switched it. So on the knit side, then I did purl. So that puffs out. This is just my practice. I was going to make this into a scarf, but so if you do purl on the knit side, it's going to puff it out. And then you do purl on the knit side, or knit on the purl side, it's going to do the opposite, retract in. I found I have to throw my yarn. I'm going to get to that in a minute, Ellen. So then I decided, okay, I am having much better success at just doing knit stitch both sides, so garter stitch. So I went back to that, and that's what all this is. Now, I discovered after doing this whole thing, particularly this section that's really, really tight, I discovered that I was wrapping my yarn in the wrong direction. I was going clockwise instead of counterclockwise. So that's why my stitches were so tight, even though this part, this garter section is pretty nice, I think. But anyway, I figured out that I was doing it wrong. And so now I've corrected, and now my stitches aren't nearly as tight on the needle as they were. They were so tight. I told my friend Kelly, they were so tight, I had to almost force the stitches down the needle. They were that tight. So I would imagine doing blocking would, yeah, it would. But this is really just a practice. It's a practice swatch anyway. I was going to make a scarf, but then I decided, no, this will just be my practice stuff. So now I know the yarn always goes counterclockwise when you wrap the yarn. So I was doing it continental style, Ellen. That was my goal because I'm a crocheter, so I want to hold the yarn in my left hand. Well, I can't, because my left isn't dominant. It was hard for me to feel I was in control of that working yarn. It felt like it was too loose. So when I held it like I do for crochet, it was too tight. So last night I'm working on my latest project, which might be a bag. I don't know yet. But I thought I'm going to try doing English style, which is throwing. And I like it better. For the knit stitch, I like it better. You want another treat? You are a treat monster. There you go. So for the knit stitch, I prefer throwing it because then I'm holding the yarn in my right hand. And so the yarn is not nearly as tight. So then I tried English style with the purl. And I couldn't figure it. I couldn't coordinate it. So I had to go back. I had to go back to holding it like I do for crochet, which is wrapping it around and then like that. So that's how I do it in crochet, but it's way too tight. It's way too tight to knit with. So anyway, here's this is 100% cotton. It's really soft cotton. Had this yarn for a while. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I'm stuck because I have this hole, and somehow I twisted when I was doing my purl row. I twisted 2 stitches, so I need to put all of these stitches back on this needle, and I don't know how. Yeah, it's really pretty. Here's I've had this for a while. This is from Santa Fe Yarns. Really nice soft cotton. I've got, I think, 4 more hanks of this. So I thought I'd make a bag with it, but I don't know. This size hook might be too big for this yarn because I think a bag, this would be too holey for a bag. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a wrap. I don't know. But before this whole happened, I was on my way. These are really cool, by the way. They have these notches here, and you slide the end. Let's see. You got to line them both up, and then you slide, and they lock. There. They lock. So it keeps your project on your needles. Genius. So that's my knitting project, and I'm waiting to get advice from my expert knitters. That was probably what that phone call was, to find out how to put those stitches back on the needle so I can go back and fix that. So, yeah, that's what I need to do. I was hoping to work on that today, but I'm stuck for now. So because I'm stuck, I decided to go look at my yarn and the progress I made yesterday. And I had this one lone hank of a Louisa Harding. It's called Louisa Harding Tweed. It's really pretty. It's this grass green with these little white tweedy bits. It's really pretty, but it's only like 120 yards. So I thought, what can I do with that? So in those moments when I don't know what to do with a yarn, I go to Ravelry, look up the yarn, and narrow down my search by yards so I can see what can I make with this yarn. So I found this little baby sweater cardigan. And so if I can get this finished, it will be for my new granddaughter coming in January. But this is nice. This is really nice. Hopefully I have enough to finish it. So there's that. Yeah, it's really pretty. And it's all natural fibers. Yeah, I bet that was Susan, and she left a voicemail. So back to one thing I forgot to say, back to the yarn band thing. I unsubscribed from all of my yarn emails. Yeah, it'll be my third grandbaby, Ellen. So I unsubscribed from all the emails so I wouldn't be tempted. And I'm going to have to be really careful what videos I watch. So no yarn hauls. And frankly, I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube lately anyway. If I am, it's news related, election related, all that stuff. So that's basically what I have been watching. Yeah, I prefer to just sit in a quiet room and work on whatever I'm working on. That's my preference. Let's see, anything else going on? Those are pretty much the biggies. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. That's 4.5. I thought I had my 4.5s, and there's 5. So, what's everybody else doing? Ellen, that one's, is it a sweater? Sweater you're working on with that Malabrigo? That's going to look nice and it's going to feel nice. Working on my sweater collar. Cool. That's cool. That sweater thing you were wearing in your video, did you make that? Whatever that was you were wearing over your top. It was really pretty. Taking a rest from knitting mittens. I have a feeling I'm making it more difficult. Wasn't it you that was wearing that cute thing over your top? I'm going to go back now and look because I might be thinking of somebody else. No, I was thinking of someone else. Sorry, Ellen. Who else was I watching that had a really cute thing over there? Who was that? I don't remember. I don't know who it was. Sorry, Ellen. So laying in bed last night, I was wondering how easy it would be to make a knit hat. So laying in bed, I looked up a video and I got too sleepy, so I didn't finish watching it. So I watched it today and it looks really easy. It's just you start with the bottom, with the brim, and it's alternating. Excuse me. It's alternating knit and purl for 6 rows, and that's where you get the ribbing. And then for 7 inches tall, you do just knit stitch in the round. Just a knit stitch. This particular pattern was using Woolies Thick and Quick. Is that a 6 weight or is that a 5 weight? I think that's a 6 weight. I watch her too, Ellen, but I haven't really watched her lately since I've been getting into knitting. But yeah, she does really great work. She does. Anyway, this hat looked really easy. It's just a bottom-up beanie. And then when you get to the top, you take your needle like you do your centro. You take your needle and you thread your tail onto it and you go and pick up all the stitches and then you cinch it shut. So I ordered me the appropriate size circular needle. Yeah, it's more than she crochets. So I'm going to have that coming, I think, on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to trying to make my first hat. I asked my friend Joyce, you know Joyce, Yarn Motivated. She might just pop in here. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I asked her yesterday, when can I say that I'm a knitter? She said, when you knit a washcloth or a scarf and finish it, we will crown you a knitter. Yay. So I wonder if that applies to a hat. Joyce, if I make a hat from start to finish, does that mean that I'm a knitter? I know she's not watching right now, but she'll watch later. I want to be called a knitter. I want to be by crafty. Hi, Bean. Hi, Bean. You're being so good. We've had so much rain. We've had almost 2 inches of rain since yesterday. Sam?
Yeah.
Did you look at the weather monitor to see how much rain we had?
I didn't.
Almost 2 inches.
Jeez.
Speak of the devil, Joyce just texted me. I knit a purl over it, pull it off the needle, and both undo it and fix it with a crochet hook. I don't know how to do that. Over to it, pull it off the needle, okay, and both undo it and fix it. Turning the loop. Just turning the loop. I need a crochet hook. By the way, I was out earlier, hence the delay in texting. Okay. Well, I'm live right now. I'm letting her know in case she wants to pop in. We need rain, undercurrent, drought watch. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, 2 inches since yesterday. So I've got puddles in an already muddy yard. So the dogs were a mess this morning. And it's not all that easy for this old lady to bend over and wipe 8 feet. So I let them eat. They come in the kitchen. So I don't have carpet in my house anyway. I've got a area rug in the living room, but I don't have any carpet. And let them eat, and then ushered them down in the basement, put them in their crates so they could dry off. That's pretty smart. So they were in there for about an hour, and they got dry, and the mud just kind of shakes off their feet. So that worked out well. And then they went out again later. The puddles are still there, so I let them in, and they followed me downstairs. And that's where they are now. Oh. Ellen, what are you hoping to learn how to knit? That's what Joyce asked me yesterday. What are you wanting? Oh, hi, Linda. Robins are enjoying the bathtubs, I'm sure. And the worms, tend to come up out of the ground. So there's Joyce. Oh, there's the monster. He's a monster. Aren't you, Bean? Are you a monster? I think he sees himself. Oh, well, he's bored. Do you see yourself? Do you see yourself on there? I think he does. He watches TV sometimes. Yeah, don't let his good looks fool you. He's a little demon. Being the adorable dog who's lots of trouble for mom. He is. Till he does that. Then he's not any trouble. Well, scarf should be easy, Ellen. So Joyce, about my project. Okay, so I was figuring, where are we at? Okay, I was thinking I could either put these stitches back on this needle, or I could go ahead and start knitting, and then when I get to that stitch, flip that loop. Which one is the most doable? Which one do you think is the most doable? I almost started going ahead and doing the knit thinking, okay, I'll get to that point and then I should be able to just flip that switch. Okay. But you said I need a crochet hook. Why do I need a crochet hook? Because that loop is going to drop or what? That's what I was thinking too. I knit over to it. I don't even know how it happened. I seriously don't know how that happened. But it's completely twisted. So, and I don't even know which stitch it is. I'm guessing it's this one. Is it possible that 2 loops are twisted and I need to deal with 2 loops? These 2? It's easier to tell on this side. I find them useful for fixing stitches. Okay, so I can't really see. I don't know if you can tell. Well, you've got the picture. Okay, I'll knit over to it. But the only thing is, if I knit over to it and I can't figure out what to do, then I'm stuck again because I won't know how to get those loops off my hook. So I need to know how to get loops off my hook in the middle of a row. I looked it up. Well, I did look it up, and they were in the middle of a row. So should I try it right now while you're sitting here? I could try it now. That way, if I have a problem, all right. Just to go a little bit faster, I'm going to go ahead and hold the yarn in my left hand. Okay. All right, here we go. Whoop, I almost went the wrong way again. I was doing it the wrong way for so long. Okay, hang on. I still go back to the old way. Okay, so is this it? No, that's not it. I should have counted how many stitches I needed to go. Okay. All right. So do I remove the stitch right over the hole, or do I remove the stitch that's just before the hole? I don't know which one needs to be. Oh, gosh. I'm just going to try it. If I screw it up, I screw it up. Okay, take that one off. Okay, now this is the one that's twisted. So pull that off. And then put it back on. I don't know if that did it, Joyce. Ooh, that don't look right. That doesn't look right. There's an awful lot of slack there. I don't know if that's going to be it. Oh my gosh. Now I'm nervous. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I need to learn how to. I can't because I got to work right here in front of me. Okay, let me go to the next one and see how it looks. No, the hole is still there. It's still there. So how do I orient it so that I put it back on the needle? Undo, link back to before the right. But I want to orient the loops correctly. So do I go in? So the front loop, does that need to be the back loop? Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, let me see. Okay, so if I do that, the front ends up becoming the back. You can't have any more treats. This whole row is going to be screwed up. Look at your stitches that are correct. Okay. So the leading loop goes, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to do this right, Joyce. Nope, that's not right. There's no loop at all. So let me see. I'm just going to do it manually. Okay, so is that right? No, that is not right. Is that right? No, that's not right either. I'm making a mess of the whole thing. Hi, Cindy. I'm making a mess of the whole thing. How can I just rip the whole? I wish this was crochet because I could just rip the whole row back. You'll get better at reading your knitting and be able to fix errors without backing up. Oh my gosh. That's okay. That leads. No. Okay, so that's not right. That's not right either. I'm in so much trouble. Now, see, at this point, I would just rip the whole thing. I don't look how much I have. I don't want to rip the whole thing. Do I have to rip the whole thing? Please tell me I don't have to rip the whole thing. Okay, tell me how. Pull this needle out. Do I pull this out? I know that's a lot to type. You can undo it once, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do it one at a time. Okay, so should I pull everything on here? I don't know how you're going to do that. I'm sad. I'm not discouraged, but I'm sad. I know there's a way to fix it, but I just don't know how. This is where crochet is better because you can just rip it back. I tried looking up a video, Joyce, but nothing looked like it pertained to my particular issue. Yeah, crochet is easier to fix. Well, if I have to rip the whole thing, I'll rip the whole thing. And I'll just be more mindful of, how each stitch looks. That way, if I have to go back, I need to understand the orientation of the loop. And I did watch some videos on the anatomy of a stitch and the leading loop and the trailing loop. I ripped it all out. Well, I guess I can. I mean, it's only what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world. Although this would have been a good opportunity for me to just figure it out on my own. Actually, you know what? I might be able to rip it, whoops, and then put my needle back. Maybe. Because I see here that's where it messed up. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to have to go back. Come on out of there. Well, I'm just going to rip this row also. Okay, so go in from Okay, I'm going to try to put these loops back on, Joyce. Ooh. Don't slip out. Don't slip out. I hope I'm putting them on here right. I'm just going through the front of the loop. Is that correct, Joyce? I'm just going through the front of the loop. What in the world? Oh, no, I missed one. What in the world? That looks... Okay, that's not a loop. I'm just going through the front of each loop. So I hope that's right. We'll see when I get to the end if it's right. They're awful tight. Does it matter, Joyce, whether you're on the knit or purl side? How they're mounted? I would imagine it does. But I'm just going through the front of every loop. They're not twisting. Actually, I did watch a video on this today. I just didn't think that I would need to know that just yet. Oops. Darn it. I dropped a stitch. And I have watched how to do this, but now I don't know how to do it. I need a crochet hook. Um, right leg forward. Okay, but I've got purl side facing me. Okay. I have to fix that. I don't know how. I know you use a crochet hook. I do know that. I think I'm just making it worse. I dropped 2 stitches. Okay, I'm starting over. I'm too impatient. I thought I could do it. It's okay. It's all part of the learning. It's all part of the learning. I'll figure it out. I'll get it figured out. But that's part of learning, is how to fix your mistakes. Learning how to fix your mistakes. All right. Thank you, Joyce. It's too late. It's gone. I'll figure it out. Here I was getting so proud. I shouldn't have been getting so proud. Thinking, I got this. No, I don't even know how that I don't know how that stitch got twisted. Figured out. So when you screw up, you know how to fix it. It's best just not to make the mistake in the first place. But mistakes will be made. Oh, look at that boy. Oh, oh, that's how he sleeps. He likes to sleep on his back. I'll start it again, and maybe I'll make it narrower so I can make a scarf. At the time I started it, I didn't even know what I was going to make. I just wanted to see how it was working with that yarn. And I'm thinking these needles are probably too big for that yarn anyway. Let's see if it says what it calls for. Yeah, it calls for a number 6. These are number 10s. So it calls for a much smaller. Let's see, a number 6. A number 7 is a 4.5. So is a 6 a 4? What's a number 6? And either have to undo a stitch at a time back. And I'm fine fixing mistakes, Joyce. It's just a matter of what I need to do to fix that mistake. And I may need a class to learn that. I may need a in-person class to learn how to fix mistakes. I don't know. Because it's not going to do me a lot of good to watch a video on fixing common mistakes, because it's not going to make any sense to me till I make that mistake. And by then I will have forgotten how to fix it. I know 11 is an 8mm. I know that because I've got 11s coming. I know a number 7 is either a 4 or 4.5. Oh, okay. That's good to know, Joyce. I know that there's, and actually I can go to Knitcraft, which is the closest local yarn store to me. And the gal that runs that is a knitter. And, see if she can teach me. I know she has classes every once in a while. The next one that I know of is in a town about 20-25 minutes away. I don't know if I want to go there, but I would. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I might have to invest in some classes. That would probably be a really good idea. So, Joyce, are you sending my socks tomorrow? I've got your hat ready. It's dry and ready to go. I just have to bag it up. And buy a label. And off it goes. I can get it off tomorrow, I think. I hope you like it. I really hope you like it. Okay. I will do the same. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see my socks. And I want to tell you something about this hat pattern. I know I'll love my socks. Yeah, she knit me a pair of socks and I crocheted her a hat. And we're gonna swap back and forth. She sent me yarn for her hat. I sent her yarn for my socks. I was trying to get other people signed up to do that. But nobody else was interested in doing it. So anyway, this hat pattern is really weird, Joyce, because it said to, when you go to seam it together, it said to put the wrong sides together, which didn't make sense. I followed what it said, put the wrong sides together, which means that your seam now is on the right side. Normally you put right sides together when you're going to make a seam. So I followed what it said, even on the one that I did. I think on yours, I might have gone ahead and put right sides together because it didn't make sense. So you can wear it either way. I mean, both sides look fine. Even the seam side, the seam is not that noticeable. So, wear it whichever side you like. But when I send it, it will be right side out with the seam on the back side. Okay. I don't know if I'll ever make my own socks, but okay. I hope so. I hope so. Question, Joyce, about working with fingering weight yarn. What, in your opinion, is the best kind of needle to use with fingering weight yarn? Because I tried some fingering weight yarn with the laminated birch needles that I have, and it wasn't easy. With these, oh, it did? Maybe it was just me. I tried working fingering weight yarn with this needle. And it wasn't very easy. Of course, I think at that time I wasn't wrapping my yarn right, so maybe I'll try again. Oh, you couldn't hear my question. When working with fingering weight yarn, what would you say is the best kind of needle? Because I know some are more pointed than others. So what would you say is the best needle in working fingering weight yarn? And why are some more pointed than others? That's what I heard. Some are more pointed than others. Some have longer points than others. So I want to be able to knit with my fingering weight yarn. Pointed is good for lace. Okay, so does that mean that's what I would need to make or to work with fine weight yarn? Or what? I'm going to try it again. Well, I can't because my needles are occupied. But I'm going to try it again. Once I get my circulars, I'm going to try it again. And orient and throw my yarn in the right direction, because at that time I was wrapping it clockwise instead of counterclockwise. But I would like to be able to knit with some of my fingering weight yarn. That would be nice. I do have lace weight yarn. It would make sense. You would need real pointed needles for that. I prefer pointed overall, but sometimes it splits yarn. Yeah, it's not so much the point as the size of the needle. Okay, so what size did you use for my socks? And did it work well with the yarn I sent? It must have, or you would have said something. So I guess I'm looking for a needle recommendation, Joyce. I need, oh, you know what? I think they're in one of these drawers. I have, there it is. I don't remember where I got these, but circular socks are made more dense, 2 millimeter for the cuff, 2 1/4 for the remainder. I don't even know what size this is. I would need a gauge, but would you care to guess, Joyce, what size these might be? I might have to try. This is a metal cable too. It's got kind of a mind of its own. But I could try doing something with this. I didn't think I'd ever use these. I was going to give them away.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't think I have a gauge ruler or anything like that. I don't think I do. If I had to guess, I would say these are probably these might be like 4 mil. Well, maybe 4 mil. 3. You saw the picture of the red fingering weight top. I'm knitting. I'm using 3.25 for good drape, but not too open fabric. Cool. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty top. That's going to be pretty. You have a crochet hook? I don't. If I do, it's put away somewhere because I never thought I would need it. Let's compare it. Well, yeah, that's way too tiny. Let's compare it with a small needle. It's smaller than that 4. It might be about a 3. This is a 2.5. It's bigger than a 2.5. My bigger needles, I think, are upstairs. Let's see, what's this one? That's 3.5. That's what I just did. That's 2.5. I'm going to say it's probably about a 3. Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind. Very kind of you. I'm comparing it to this 3.5, and it's pretty darn close. So it might be about a 3.25. These might be about a 3.25. It was pretty close to a 3.5. That'll be nice to have. Now I have one more thing I can look for at the thrift store. Look for needles.
Guys, we need to do better. We need to be aggressive on Bravo. Fuck Alpha.
Let's play a game.
Fuck Alpha. Get B, hold B.
He probably wishes I wasn't down here. Oh, he was sleeping. There he goes. He's going back to sleep. Well, you guys, I think that's all I've got for today. We've been in here an hour and a half. Uh-oh. Verify it's you. What the heck? What the heck? Oh my gosh. Verifying it's you. Complete. Oh gosh. Yes, it's me. Well, where's the thing? I don't see anything in here. Oh. 27. All right.
Oh,
thanks
guys.
for stopping in, Ellen. Have a great day.
You guys
Okay.
fucking are idiots, dude. Fuck Alpha. Fuck Charlie. He's where you're gonna farm all the kills.
It's me. 91.
Guys,
Goodness gracious.
2 objectives.
Okay. I don't know why that happened. Thanks, Ellen. You too. Happy knitting. Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate you guys coming in. Now we're at 7, and I'm about ready to say goodbye. Thank you, Joyce, for all your help. And I'll be getting your hat out tomorrow. I will get it ready tonight to put in a bag and send off. And I still have your address.
They tried jumping at a closed door.
Everybody be safe Tuesday if you're going out to vote. Be safe. I already voted last week. Okay. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. I didn't get enough sleep last night. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Cindy. I will. And we'll see y'all another time. Have a good week coming up. Again, be safe if you're going to vote. Keep your head on a swivel. Night, Joyce. We'll see everybody later. Thanks for being here.